Hi again, everyone. It's me again, Abby Lane, and welcome to the Right Lane podcast. Before everything else, I just want to thank everyone for helping the Right Lane reach 1,000 subscribers in just 3 weeks. And because of that, as a sign of thanks for everyone, this episode is going to be really special because it's our first episode with a guest. So, let's dive in. Welcome to The Right Lane, the podcast where digital strategies meet creativity. I'm Abby Lane, your host, here to inspire, empower, and guide you through branding, marketing, and everything in between. Each episode will explore cutting-edge insights and hear from industry innovators shaping the future of digital success. So, are you ready to take the first step? Let's start your digital success story through The Right Lane. Okay, so you know, guys, those witty, relatable, and borderline hugot shirts that you see all over social media and even in the malls. The ones that make you laugh, nod, and think, wow, that's so me, ako yun na. Well, today, we're sitting down with the person behind them. So, Linya Linya started as a passion project, but over the years, it has grown into one of the most beloved local lifestyle brands in the Philippines. And more than just a clothing brand, it's a cultural movement, blending humor, storytelling, social relevance, and heart into everyday fashion, like what I'm wearing now. But how exactly did it go from a few quirky designs to a full-fledged business with a loyal following? So in this episode, we're going into the creative and business mind of Sir Ali Sangalang, the co-founder of Linya Linya, and we'll talk about how he turned his love for words into a thriving brand, how he connects with customers in a crowded market, and what it really takes to build a business that stays relevant in the ever-changing world of digital marketing. So, once again, welcome, Sir Ali Sangalang.
Hello, Abby, and hello, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, first of all, for accommodating us here in your very beautiful headquarters. Yes.
Thank you for being here, and welcome sa Linya Linya HQ.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we've seen so many notable guests here in Linya Linya. Can you tell us first, before we go into your clothing business, let's talk about this space. So tell us about this, like, why is it in this kind of design, and why are you welcoming artists here inside?
So this is our dream space, Linya Linya HQ. So we started this business around 2015. So 10 years na namin to. So nag-start yung space namin sa isang maliit na toasted siopaw shop.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
So parang, kumbaga humble beginnings talaga yung space. Dahil ano naman parang passion project namin to, and then from scratch talaga namin siya ginawa. So again, maliit na space. We started with a small space, and then eventually nalipat kami to parang an apartment, converted to an office. And then lumalaki siya ng lumalaki until around 2 years ago. Halos katatapos, halos nasa brink na nung pagbabalik to normalization from the pandemic.
Yeah.
Nakita namin tong space na to. So the idea behind this space, during the pandemic, yung heroes talaga namin ay yung mga frontliners naming mga sales staff. So, kaming creatives, hindi kami nagpapakita sa isa't isa because of the situation. Pero sila, araw-araw silang pumapasok to accommodate the orders, mag-pack, basically, keep the operations going.
Yes.
So, parang ang panata namin ni Jim, yung business partner ko sa Linya Linya, once na mag-normalize lahat, makaipon kami, will provide the space for them. So sila muna yung priority namin. Kaya malaking chunk din ng office ay yung para sa sales staff namin. May comfortable and big area sila to do their work. And then, pero syempre, ang linya-linya ay parang creative group kami, creative team. So na-imagine din talaga namin ito to be a creative space. So gusto rin namin maging conducive siya for our own team, for our own creatives to create content here, conceptualize the shirts here. So, mahirap din na magtrabaho sa pagpapasaya ng mga tao if hindi rin masyadong masaya yung team namin,
Exactly.
sa lugar. So, gusto namin maging vibrant, maging cool, maging conducive for creative work to. Thus, ito yung office and naging na rin siyang event space. Lalo na this year, we're ramping up with our events. So, just recently, may live podcast dito. Meron ng theater group, yung Spit, nag-perform na dito. May gigs na recently, yung Cheats. Pero nakatugtog na rin dito si Ebe, si Jonoy. Excited kami. And may poetry group, no? Yung Third Thursdays. May spoken word poetry night din dito. So, ano na siya na parang naging creative hub na rin tong space na to.
Yeah, and it's nice that these big names actually trust Linya Linya when it comes to the collaborations with you guys. And by the way, I just noticed, why is your business named Linya Linya? Yeah.
Okay. So, siguro a little background, no? Parang forte ko talaga as a, ano ba? Parang class clown. Nasa school pa.
Yeah.
Mahilig akong humirit sa klase. So, ako yung napagsasabihan ng teacher usually. Pero ano naman, proud naman ako na hindi naman ako nag-overboard. Hindi ako tumatawid ng linya. So, humirit lang ako, papasaya, ganyan. So, anyway, nung ginawa tong project na to, kasama ko yung isang friend ko na artist, parehas kaming frustrated artists. Ano? Ako, poetry, siya naman, visual arts. So, magkaiba kami ng linya.
Yeah.
Parang ganun. And then, eventually, parang lagi kami nagsusuccumb to pressure when it comes to creation. Dahil we were surrounded by peers na very talented, very award-winning, no? Itong mga to. So, ginusto namin na makagawa rin naman ng sarili namin. Nang hindi masyadong kino-compare yung sarili namin sa kanila. Thus, parang ginawa namin tong project na to na kami lang. And then, nung unang pangalan niya, Linya, mga guhit at sabi-sabi. Kaya ako napiling word na Linya, since mahilig ako mag-wordplay, no? And dalawang meaning ng Linya for me. Actually, marami. Pero yung isang linya ay linya ng mga salita. So, kapag nagsusulat ka, mga linya sa poetry, no?
Yes.
So, linya rin naman ang tawag, no? Sa mga phrases, sentences, no? So, si Punch naman, yung partner ko din na artist, siyempre, drawings, doodles, illustrations requires lines, no?
Yes.
So, require lines, no? So, parang yun yung dalawang linya namin. Kaya linya, mga guhit at sabi-sabi. Tapos, eventually, nung nalaman ng mga friends namin, parang sinasabi nila, uy, gusto namin yung linya-linya nyo. So, very Pinoy din yun, ano? Yung repetition ng words.
Yes.
So, kunyari, sabihin mo, kape-kape lang muna tayo. O, usap-usap muna tayo. O, shooting-shooting muna. Parang ganun. So, yung repetition, nag-resonate sa akin yung linya-linya. Sakto pa dalawang linya kami na pinag-combine. And then eventually, nag-make sense din dahil yung art namin, laging may notebook lines. So, linya-linya rin. Yun.
As a business owner, I truly understand that part when you think of an idea and everything comes into place, how you named it, how the concept, how it's still very Filipino. It's very admirable. And I think a big factor also of that is because since you're a writer, that creative flow of thinking also infuses into it. Although I ask, how do you think your background in creative writing helped you to, not just keep the business going, but also make it stand out from the rest?
So, I think ang laking bagay talagang creative writing dahil form-wise, discipline-wise, iba yung training ng poetry, ng literature. So, iba rin yung sa technical side muna of writing, may advantage ka kagad kasi papabasahin kayo ng mga ng mga known works and then aaralin mo yun. So, yung disiplina ng pagsusulat and ang tinuturo rin naman kasi sa poetry, yung brevity, yung parang economy of words, yung paggamit mo ng precise ng mga salita, importance na binibigay mo sa mga salita. So, ang laking tulong sa disiplina sa pagsusulat. Especially, kahit na nasa meme and social media space kami, unahan sa attention eh.
Yes.
And kung pare-pares kayo ng iniisip, magkakatalo dyan kung paano mo sinasabi, paano mo sinusulat.
Yes.
And it works well then with merch, dahil maikli rin ang merch. So parang syempre, ang comment naman lagi sa linya-linya na maikli ang sinasabi, pero maikli ang pagkakasabi, pero malalim ang sinasabi, malawak ang sinasabi. So, yun nakatulong creative writing doon. And syempre, hindi lang naman yung yung technicalities of writing ang tinuturo sa creative writing, pero kailangan matalas ka rin mag-isip. Kailangan nagbabasa ka, kailangan observant ka. So, iba rin yung tinuro ng creative writing sa akin when it comes to yung lente ko kung paano ko tinitignan ng mundo. Kasi pare-pares naman tayong nakikita, magkakaiba kung paano natin siya tinitingnan.
Yeah.
No? So, syempre, kung meron kang tinuruan ka kung paano tingnan yung mga ibang bagay, yung buhay,
Yeah.
no, from everyday mundane things to bigger philosophical na mga ideas, ibang usapan din how you hindi lang comprehend that, pero how you communicate that. So, syempre, kung creative writing, rin ang background mo, tinuturo rin paano mo yun i-communicate, paano mo yun ikukwento. So, kung paano ko nakikita yung mundo, paano ko nakikita yung mga kwento sa paligid ko, natulungan ako nun, and kung paano ko siya ikukwento naman sa iba. So, yun yung malaking tulong ng creative writing sa akin. Since ang space na ginagalawan ko ay social media, kung saan kailangan mong magsulat para may mabasa yung mga tao.
Yeah.
So, I would like to think na parang big differentiator din yan for me as a content creator. Kasi maganda, no? Everyone's empowered to create their own content. Pero iba rin yung advantage of having that background.
Yeah, exactly. And with that skill and with that background, it actually enables Linya Linya to have that soul and connection with your market. And speaking of market, I am going to ask some questions that are related to your audience. So, how did you figure out who was your market, who was your audience? How did you figure it out?
Well, una, syempre may imagined market ka. Sino ba gusto mong kausapin?
Yeah.
And because of our background, yung mga friends lang muna namin. So, or sarili muna namin. Kasi itong sinusulat ko mga jokes, dapat matawa rin ako eh.
Yeah.
No, dapat matawa yung friend ko na artist. So, kami muna.
Yeah.
And then, sino ba yung natatawa sa akin? Yung mga friends ko, family. Sila muna.
Yeah.
So, yun yung intended audience muna namin until it grew. And ang masasabi ko dyan ay hindi kung ano yung iniisip mong market mo, yun talaga yung market mo. Kasi nung time na ginawa namin yung linya-linya, yung mga shirts namin, they were all about our own experiences. No? Ang nakalagay doon, puro tungkol sa inuman.
Yeah.
At saka heartache, ganyan. Pero mostly about inuman.
Yeah.
So, pang guys.
Yeah.
Pero nung nag-start kami magbenta nito, na-realize namin, puro mga tita at saka mga young professionals na female yung bumibili. Kasi mga guys, okay na yan sa isang t-shirt eh. Ang hirap bentahan ng t-shirt. Pag marami pa ako sa bahay.
Yeah.
Diba? So parang matutuwa, titingnan, tatawa, hindi bibili. So napansin namin, nung unang bazaar namin, yung mga tita yung nandun.
Oh.
Yung tita, sasabihin nila, ay bagay sa pinsan mo to. O ito bagay ito sa tito mo. Tapos yung mga girlfriend naman, so nandun tumatambay sa amin yung mga guys. And then, sasabihin ng girls pagdating, oh, gusto mo yan? Bagay sa'yo yan. Hindi, okay lang, wag na. Hindi, suotin mo, try mo. So, babae yung nandun. So, eventually, and again, advantage of being a writer, being an artist, kaya mo ring tingnan yung perspective ng iba. So, kailangan ko rin ipasok yung sarili ko sa utak ng mga girls. At saka, marami akong friends na female, kailangan ko alamin yung sentiments nila. So, eventually, yung market, nakikita namin na mas babae. Thus, yung suot mo, yung Go Girl na yun.
Yeah.
Yung mga shirt namin na Eat Girl. Maraming about female sentiments.
Yes.
Meron pa rin pang guys, pero parang nakita namin na mas girls yung consumer. Yeah.
Have you considered also or saw the trend na balikbayans are also into linya-linya? Like I have a friend na hindi niya malagpasan na hindi siya bibili ng linya-linya every time she goes home. Kasi parang namimiss nila yung culture ng Philippines.
Yes, definitely. No? Nakukuha namin yan. May certain stores kami na mas mga expats yung nandun, mga balikbayan. Yun parang warm hug eh. And parang humihirit yung shirts and yung laughter na namimiss nila about the Philippines. Na-experience nila through shirts.
Yes.
So, definitely, yung market na yan, parte, no? And thus, may mga shirts kami na talagang mas catered to Filipino sentiments na bagay sa mga Pinoy abroad. Meron kami dati para sa Pilipinas, o kaya meron din kaming OFW nakalagay, overtime Filipino worker. So parang may mga bali lang pero about them din.
Yes.
And then may pinaplano kami ilabas ngayon, Pinoy Fried yung nakalagay. hindi Pinoy Pride, Pinoy Fried, pero mga fried na mga pagkain.
I'm so guilty about that. Well, with that, I don't want to answer this in behalf of you, but since meron akong idea, but what do you think sets you apart from other brands, even if it's already obvious on my end?
Differentiator ng linya-linya. Siguro, una, ang daming magagaling rin na merch brands na pina-follow namin. Mga idol namin. Pero siguro yung kakaiba sa amin, pinanganak kami sa social media age talaga. So, kung yung ibang mga merch brands before, gumawa sila ng page para magkaroon ng space para mapakita nila yung shirts nila. Baliktad kami. Gumawa kami ng page na eventually nagkaroon ng shirts. So, hindi rin kami, and mabilis kaming nakatawid to merch. Hindi rin kami content creators na, na pinipilit magka-merch.
Yeah.
So, parang basically, sinasabi ko ay, kami yung isa sa mga unang nakapasok agad na content creator and merch kami in one. So, thus, ang differentiator namin, hindi kailangan maging pilit ng pag-advertise namin sa online. Kasi, trabaho namin na maging seamless yung pagiging content creator and pagiging brand. So, isa yun. Differentiator siguro, original din talaga lahat ng ginagawa namin. So, marami ring mga content creators. Yun naman ang nature ng meme creation, ay rehashing and getting other people's ideas and then turning it into yours, no? May ganun din kami, no? We also do parodies, ganyan, pero we take pride dun sa mga original lines talaga namin, the original art namin. So, as much as nasa meme culture tayo of rehashing and reusing, nandyan pa rin yung gawa namin na kaming kabilang.
Yeah.
So, we take pride on that. So, ayun, ano pa ba? Siguro differentiator din namin ay, kaya siguro for the past 10 years, I would like to believe na sustain yung relevance dahil nakikinig kami sa younger generation. I would like to believe na good listener ang linya-linya. And hindi kami naubusan kasi form lang na naman yung forms nag-iiba pero yung sentiment ng pagiging Pinoy nandyan yan lagi.
Always be there.
So iba-iba yung nagiging trend ng memes pero yung sentiments again paulit-ulit lang siya, nag-iiba lang ng packaging at saka yung words hindi naluluma.
Yeah.
Kaya nandyan yan sa amin lagi.
So it's safe to say that Linya Linya knows how to balance being trendy and being true to your own soul and direction. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to more technical parts, which is talking about the 4 P's of marketing. By the way, to aspiring marketers, 4 P's of marketing, this is something that you really need to know. So it's product, price, place, and promotion. So let's talk about the product. What can you give me like a brief background or like overview of how you do the creative process of thinking of what to sell?
So again, I'll go back to parang linya-linya being a content page and the content creator. So, nag-create muna kami ng content that can eventually be products. So, yun yung sinasabi kong unique about us kasi para kaming may internal survey. So, kung yung ibang brands, kunyari, statement shirts, diretso sila sa pag-produce. Tapos maghanap na sila ng ways to sell it. Medyo challenging yun.
Yes.
Pero dito, nag-release kami ng content everyday and nakikita namin if they like it or not. And di-signal na sa amin kapag nag-viral, potentially magiging magandang shirt siya. So, ganun yung nagiging process namin na we create first and we post and then we listen. So, yun. Pero yung kung masihimay natin yung buong journey ng isang line to a product, nagsisimula siya sa everyday experience. No? So, as a writer and yung team ko of content creators, of artists, writers, everyday pa rin yung pag-experience ng Filipino life. Na sabihin na natin na medyo struggling, mahirap, maraming stress. Sisimula doon. Kaya naman tayo humuhugot kasi gusto nating kontrahin yung mga experience na yan. So, nag-start siya doon and then dahil alam na namin kung paano magsulat linya-linya way, nasusulat namin yung experience na yun. And then, sinusulat yun ng team ko and then they have it approved by me. And then pag na-approve ko yun naman yung ipapasa namin sa artists. Yung artists naman yung mag-develop doon. Na hinahayaan ko sila to have their own interpretation. And then once na magawa nila yun, up for approval ulit, and then pag na-approve, for posting na. Pag pinost na yun, abangan namin yung magiging traction. So kung maganda yung engagement, magandang nagustuhan namin yun, signal yun to develop and to
a
produce.
merch.
And then nagiging siyang produkto.
And that's a really nice approach because one of the hardest things about marketing is the testing or the guessing game of whether this product will actually sell or not, to who will it sell or not. At least in your point, you already have an idea of who the person you're targeting, and then nagpo-follow yung product. Am I right? That's how it works. So, yeah, I think that's a really, I can say, efficient, cost-effective way of marketing a product. That's nice. Okay, now we move on to price. When it comes to pricing, how did you decide that this will be the price of a shirt of Linya Linya? I know parang medyo almost same sila ng prices all throughout. So, why did you stick to that range?
Syempre, sa computation yan, business-wise.
Yeah, business-wise. Yeah,
syempre may tama namang computation yan for it to be sustainable, no? Pero, ang trabaho ko bilang content creator and nag-iisip ng mga yan, paano ko rin gagawin yung design and yung idea in such a way na hindi mararamdaman ng tao na bibili na mahal siya. So, kailangan mong galingan. Kailangan mong i-up yung quality niyan. So, may ganun. Halo-halo, kasama na rin dyan syempre yung research. Kasama dyan yung competitor analysis.
Yes.
Check mo rin kung magkano yung range nung kanila.
Yes.
Kasama na rin dyan yung sino ba yung target market namin, working class ba yan, young professionals, ano ba yung spending power nila, nasaan space ka ba, saan space mo ba yan binibenta, dun mo matatansya yung presyo mo. Ngayon, for the longest time, bihira kami mag-akyat ng presyo. Pero, it reached na itong current price namin dahil rin sa lahat ng nangyayari, sa paligid, sa inflation. So, parang masakit, pero ganun talaga. And, yun, ang challenge again ay to make it feel dun sa consumers na what they're buying is way beyond what they're paying for.
Yeah.
So, it's hindi lang yan sa material and sa nakasulat, pero yung the sentiment that you feel when you buy the product.
Yeah.
Yun.
I was supposed to say, para you get what you pay for, pero you've corrected it. It's actually going beyond what you actually pay for. Okay, now we move on to place. The first time that I saw Linya Linya personally was in the mall. But where did it really start, and how did you choose your distribution channels?
So, it started sa mga bazaars. Yung kanina kong kinukwento sa Rockwell yun. So, part ako ng isang org, Yabang Pinoy, parang Filipino Pride org yan. Volunteer ako doon. And sila yung unang nag-invest sa mga lines ko. So, sila yung nagpa-print, and then they gave me a free space sa Rockwell, sa Global Pinoy Bazaar. So, doon ko unang na-test. Libre lang yung space. Sobrang liit. As in, hindi ako kasya. Parang 1/2 or 1/4 lang siya ng normal size ng booth. Dahil nga free lang. Pero nagulat ako, laki nung nabenta namin. We were able to sell, I think, for 2 days, 120 shirts in 2 days. So, parang sabi ko, wow, in such a small space, given yung bago lang kami, parang ang dami na benta. So, nag-start kami muna sa bazaars. And dahil ginawa ko to, meron pa akong work. May full-time work ako. Kaya lang namin magbenta once in a while.
Yeah.
So, parang lumabas niyan, mga around twice a year lang kami nagbebenta. So, 2 times a year lang, yung libre lang na space. And then, eventually, mas sumali na sa mga bazaars. And then, eventually, we created our online store. And then, nag-grow na nung kasama ko na si Jim, tsaka si Sab. At nung naging 3 na kami, mas naging active na kami sa actually, in-offeran kami ng mga malls na magka-space. And then, nag-grow na siya. Umabot kami ng around 10 stores around Metro Manila sa mga top malls. And then, eventually, nung nag-pandemic, we had to close it down. Pero mas ramp up kami sa online. So ngayon, ano na lang, we have 2 physical stores, pero ano na, all online.
Yeah, which makes sense because like what I've always said, digital is the future. And speaking of that, we're going to the fourth part of the 4 Ps, which is promotion. What is or where are you strongest in terms of the digital marketing channels? Is it social media? Are you strong in email marketing or what?
I think primary pa rin yung social media.
Yeah.
Since nandun yung major social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram pa rin. So siguro kunyari Facebook, may direct link ka to to the online stores.
Yeah.
And then Instagram naman, meron din naman through IG stories, ganyan.
Yes.
Pero yun, yung mga online channels na yan, iba-ibang online social media platforms, yun yung doon pa rin kami. Since nandun pinapublish yung mga content namin, mas doon pa rin kami active.
Okay, now we move on to the part wherein we want you to take us through from the person sees your product to turning it into a loyal customer or a loyal viewer of your content. So, are you aware of how that happens and can you explain how that happened so far?
Hindi ko alam. Hindi, parang doing this for 10 years, kailangan talaga ng consistency, kailangan ng dedication. Kailangan gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Kasi kung hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo, paano ka makaka-influence ng mga tao na maglalabas yun Lalabas siya sa'yo, sisingaw siya kung if you're doing it for
just for the sake.
Just for the sake or for money or for fame, ganyan. Mabilis ka magsasawa dyan. Pero dahil gusto talaga namin tong gawin and I've been doing this for more than 10 years, every day, ibig sabihin talaga gusto ko siya. So, mahirap mag-create nung community kung ikaw mismo ay hindi mo gusto doon, hindi ka komportable. So, ayun, years of work siya, of hard work, ng pag-create consistently and constantly ng content na na nagre-resonate at nakaka-relate yung mga tao. And doon nabibuild yung loyalty. Kasi loyal sila dahil alam nilang may aasahan sila sa amin everyday. So, consistent yung pagbibigay namin sa kanila. And we're giving it for free. Diba? Everyday kami nagpapakita ng content. Magkaroon man kami ng ilang seconds sa buhay nila everyday. Naaalala nila kami. So, para kaming kaibigan nila na kapag bad trip sila, may mababasa silang line from us na bad trip. Bad trip din ako Diba? Pagka masaya sila, celebratory yung nangyayari, we celebrate with them. Pero kung nakakaiyak, nakakagalit, ganun din yung mababasa nila sa content namin. So, parang kaming loyal friend na nandyan.
Yeah.
So, by being there constantly, listening to, being truthful to our emotions na, communal na, na pakiramdam ng nangyayari sa paligid. Edi, nararamdaman nila na naiintindihan ako nito. Kaya yung tagline namin, gets ka namin Kasi yun yung everyday naming pinapa-feel sa customers namin. Gets ka namin. So, dahil feel nilang gets namin sila, gumiget na rin sila ng mga product namin. Kinokonsume nila yung content namin, and then binibili nila yung products namin.
Another wordplay from Sir Ali. Okay. I want to talk about the website kasi I explored it and then I saw that it's not your typical website na parang you just outright buy it. There are so many benefits to it, like you can get it the same day or meron din free gifts. So, how did you decide to, veer away from the typical website structure into something that's almost spoon-feeding your customer? Yeah.
Siyempre, alam naman namin, busy rin yung mga tao and gusto lang nila ng ease of purchasing. So, kung paano namin gustong bumili sa isang site, ganun din namin gustong gawin yung site. So, kung ako mismo, naiinis ako sa dami ng kailangan gawin, at saka parang hindi mo mafe-feel na ina-accommodate ka, ayaw namin gawin yun. So, yun yung ginawa namin sa website. Will make you feel na you're special, marami kaming bibigyan na kung ano-anong perks.
Yeah.
Yan, nakaka-adapt yun sa loyalty kasi agad-agad may binibigay kang something sa kanila. Yan.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's why nga your tagline is Gets Ka Namin. They're really staying true to their tagline. That's nice. Can you allow me to take it a little more personal in this part? Okay, what was the biggest challenge that Linya Linya faced in the past 10 years?
Past 10 years. Ako siguro yung day zero yung starting this whole thing.
Okay.
Pinaka-challenging yan kasi actually it took me around 3 years bago ako mag-decide na talagang gawin na siya. So kaya yung nakalagay dyan sa isa naming frame, magsimula. Yan yung parang naging mantra ko kasi ang hirap magsimula. Kasi as a creative, parang lagi may kinukumpara yung sarili mo sa iba, lagi kang natatakot, lagi kang hindi pa enough to eh. So parang hirap tumuwid, no, to starting something, to creating. So sa akin yung pagsisimula, yung unang page, yung unang linya ko, para to get there ay napakahirap. Kaya I understand, no, sa mga nanonood na ikinig na kung meron kang gustong gawin pero hindi mo siya magawa-gawa. Hindi ko sabihin sa inyo na ganun siya kadali. Hindi naman siya talaga siya madali. No, pero kailangan mahanap mo lang yung reason ba't mo siya gagawin.
Yes.
So, kapag naging buo na yun sa loob mo, dapat lumabas yan sa'yo. So, yan yung isa sa mga pinaka-challenging. Yung next siguro ay common naman sa ating lahat yung nangyari sa pandemic.
Yeah.
So, parang parang pababalikin ka niya to parang you have to ask yourself na ba't mo ba to ginagawa? Kasi pwedeng bukas wala na to eh. Baka wala na tayong lahat bukas. Ba't mo ba to ginagawa? So parang kailangan niyang reassessment of your why eh. So dun namin nalaman na gusto talaga namin gawin to. Kasi buhay na yung nakataya sa lahat.
Yes.
Pero ba't tinuloy pa rin namin?
Yes.
And kakaiba kasi nagsara na lahat, hindi lumalabas yung mga tao, pero people are still buying shirts. So doon ko na-realize na hindi t-shirt yung binibili nila. Hindi tela, hindi print. Binibili nila yung pakiramdam na nakukuha nila doon sa shirt. Yun.
Give me a little moment to absorb this because I can relate to that feeling when you know, yung hindi mo alam kung magpapatuloy ka, the uncertainties around owning a business. And I think it's just a matter of, moving forward all the time. Yes. Okay. Now, we talked about the hard part. Now we talk about the triumphant part naman. What is the most successful campaign or collection that you had?
Most successful. Depende siguro kung ano yung ano ibig sabihin ng success. Pero siguro pinakamalaking campaign, top of mind na lang to.
Yeah.
Parang I feel like kakaiba yung nagawa namin sa previous campaign, literally, no? Political campaign. Na siguro isa kami sa mga unang tumindig, no? Dahil dyan yung sa ginawa ni Tarantadong Kalbo na movement, yung tumindig, no? Marami na inspired din to speak out sa kami doon. So, happy kami na isa rin kami sa agad-agad na nag-respond doon and nagulat din kami how people responded or parang followed suit doon sa ginawa namin. May mga brands na nabilib, no? Kung gaano rin kami ka-vocal and katapang na magsabi ng sentiments namin. So, proud ako doon sa campaign na yun and I think successful siya dahil it reached a lot of people. It touched a lot of lives, no? So, parang and feel namin kasi as creatives, hindi lang naman kami nandito para magpatawa or magpa-impress, magpasikat. Diba? Dito kami dahil we're making a stand.
Yes.
We're trying to create an impact. We're trying to contribute to society, to alam namin na may space na binigay sa amin, may platform na binigay. May papel kami, no? Hindi lang yung papel na pinagsusulatan namin, pero may papel kami sa society. And may boses kami. So, doon namin in-apply. And I feel like kakaibang feeling lang na makita mo rin sa kalsada yung mga gawa nyo na ina-amplify yung message na gusto nating sabihin. na, 'di ba? We need better leaders. We need better ano ba? Mas mabuting pamamahala, 'di ba? And may role tayong mga simpleng mamamayan, creatives, business owners. Pwede tayong mag-take ng stand at pwede tayong lumaban, no? Ayan.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's the boldest decision that you've made in your business, right? Yeah.
One of the boldest, and ang kakaiba doon, yung decision na yun nanggaling sa team namin, nanggaling sa mga bata. Hindi lang kaming owners at mas matatanda, pero it came from the young millennials, the Gen Z, na nakinig kami sa creatives namin na sa kanila nanggaling yung fire and yung fight na lumabas. Kasi ano yan sa mga older millennials dyan, hindi kami sanay na and business owners, hindi sanay yung mga millennial business owners, una, sa paglabas sa public at gawing muka ng isang brand. And hindi rin sanay na maging vocal about your belief. Pero dahil sa influence ng mga bata, tumapang kami na gawin. So, galing yung fire na yan and inspiration sa mga mas bata.
Okay. Apology if I'm almost crying right now. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that topic really resonated with me because, yeah, I know what he's talking about, that specific campaign with Tarantadong Kalbo. And of course, we experienced that disappointment about the results. But going back to the moment that we were campaigning, it was a really special moment for everyone, seeing the unit, seeing how people were having that one voice and knowing that these brands like Linya Linya support this, amplify this, making a voice for us. It's something that gives hope even until now. So, may I ask, in the future, will you do it again?
I think naka-embed talaga siya sa amin And ako rin, based on my background, nag-public service din ako, nandyan. Si Jim and Sab, firm ang values So, yun naman ang values and principles, Hindi siya dinidictate ng ng nangyayari. Kung yan talaga yung values and principles mo, gagawin mo yan regardless of the situation. In fact, kung lalong mas mahirap yung situation, dapat mas lalong lumabas yan. Pero hindi ako we're not resting on our laurels na parang ano bang mangyari, magiging righteous kami. Hindi ganoon, parang every day is a challenge for us to parang stand our ground.
Yes.
And we're keeping ourselves vulnerable. And para alam namin na hindi namin alam lahat.
Yes.
That's why sabi ko dun sa campaign na yun, nakikinig kami sa mga bata. Nakikinig kami sa wisdom ng matatanda. Kasi hindi naman namin alam lahat. So hindi rin ako magsasabi para ano man mangyari, andito kami. Challenge yun every day to stay the course.
Yes.
Or kaya take the higher road,
Yes.
So, kaya parang hindi ko masabi, pero we're doing our best every day to stay the course at nasa parehong linya pa rin.
Yes, and another wordplay from Sir Ali. Okay, we are almost done with the episode, and before I wrap things up actually later with a monologue, can I say, any plans for Linya Linya that you may want to share or tease the people about?
Siguro yung isa ay yung sa The Linya Linya Show. 5 years na yung podcast ko na The Linya Linya Show. So, sa mga nanonood, nakikinig, salamat at sa pagsama sa amin dito. And sana matry nyo rin pakinggan yung Linya Linya Show. Marami rin kaming iba-ibang guests doon. From different lines of work, And yung isa rin naming nira-ramp up this year ay yung tinatawag naming Tayo-Tayo series. Series of events siya dito sa Linya Linya HQ. Ang goal namin ay i-gather yung mga like-minded, like-hearted na mga Pinoys na iba't ibang fields like music, comedy, arts, even forums for parang elevating public discourse. Gusto namin gamitin yung space namin dito sa Linya Linya, dito sa Libis, sa Magnitude Building sa May Rodriguez. Nag-start na kami with one event with Cheats, indie rock band na part din si Jim and Sab. Sobrang saya dito. Parang 80 to 100 people, very intimate pero very feel mo yung energy.
Yes.
So, yung Tayo-Tayo series, nag-start na siya with Cheats and we're planning another one. Nagkaroon din kami ng live podcast with Chicks to Go, si Ashley Rivera at saka si Hershey Neri. Marami pa kaming gustong gawing events dito. And sabi ko nga, no, hindi yan kami-kami lang, hindi sila-sila, tayo-tayo yung nandyan.
Yes.
So, ano siya, intimate live sessions. Lalo na sa mundo ngayon, ano, na lahat tayo nasa social media, okay naman yan, basta nagagamit natin ng tama, pero iba pa rin kapag nagsasama-sama tayo ng physically, nakakapag-interact and nakakapag-usap tayo bilang mga tao, no, natututo tayo sa isa't isa, at nakakapag-connect, nakakapag-linya-linya tayo, nakakapag-connecta tayo sa isa't isa para i-celebrate yung mga bagay na gusto nating gawin, mahal natin, at pag-usapan yung mga bagay na dapat pag-usapan, mga mahalagang bagay, and kung meron man tayong mga dapat na pinaglalaban dahil tayo namang yung generation natin na to and the younger ones, tayo yung may dala na rin ng torch moving forward. Sana maging space din to for public discourse, mapag-usapan yung mga dapat nating mapagtulungan bilang mga kabataan Pilipino.
Totally agree. And one final question before we wrap things up. What if you were to give one big advice for someone who wants to build his own, whether it be a content creation brand or a retail, what would be your advice to that person?
Sa akin, follow your why, unfollow your ex.
Tell me about it.
So, follow mo doon tayo sa why, wag tayo sa ex. Yung ex kasi marami ng bagahe yan. Marami ka ng problema dyan. Pero yung why, bakit mo ginagawa yung ginagawa mo? So, sa akin, magiging sustainable lang yung bagay na ginagawa mo at gusto mong gawin kung talagang mahal mo yung ginagawa mo. Alam mo kung bakit mo siya ginagawa. Otherwise, kapag may yung motivation mo dyan ay mababaw, pera, fame, power. Kapag wala nang nakatingin, kapag napagod ka, hindi mo na siya gagawin. So sa akin, madaling magsabi na, uy, gawin nating business to. Uy, sige, create tayo ng sarili nating thing. Okay naman yun, pero kung gusto nyo tumagal yung bagay na yun, dig deep. Yes. Alamin mo. And mangyayari lang yan if isa naming line, lumabas at danasin ng mundo. Ibig sabihin, lumabas ka, experience the world, alamin mo kung ano yung dumanas ka para malaman mo kung saan ka mas masaya. Ano yung nagpapatibok ng puso mo. And then kung isa ko pang line ay do more of what makes you happy. So kung yung bagay na yun, masaya ka, ako yung ginagawa ko, nagsusulat ako, nagpapatawa ako, nagkukwento ako, yun yung ginawa ko ng ginawa. No? And then from there, tingin ko, pwede mo siyang tawirin to a bigger thing. Creating your own page, turning it into a business. Pero wag kang tumalon doon sa gusto mo na kagad na lumaki, kumita. Doon ka muna sa ano bang nagpapatibok ng puso ko. Ano ba yung gusto, ano ba yung nagpapatayo ng balahibo ko? Ano yung pwede kong ma-share sa mundo? Doon ka muna. And then from there, tingin ko mag-guide ka na nun sa pupuntahan mo. And again, kapag binaliktad mo siya, inuna mo yung gusto kong makilala, gusto kong yumaman, maliligaw ka ng landas, feeling ko kung mahirapan ka, hindi mo siya itutuloy. And yung last line ko na lang, lagi ko rin to sinasabi, mahalaga ang bawat takbang, lakad lang, mahanap mo rin ang linya mo. Yeah.
So beautiful. And before we end this, allow me to give my wrap-up statement about this conversation. So after this conversation, this podcast or this episode technically is supposed to be about digital marketing strictly, but then I realized that it's actually more than the technicalities of marketing, analysis, etc. I mean, that's important, that's really helpful, but the power of having that purpose, that why in your business, it's really the key. And your sincerity towards trying to connect with your audience. I think that's the most powerful asset of Linya Linya. And that's the reason why we all love it, because gets nga kami ng Linya Linya. So, With that, we would just like to give you this small token of appreciation. Sir Ali, this is...
Oy, wow.
Yeah. From Yellowtail. Thank you so much for accommodating me with this podcast. I know you're very busy and it took some time to do this podcast. We sincerely hope the best for Linya Linya. And, you know, we also want to thank you not just for this one, but also for the impact that Linya Linya has given us, the society, our generation, and what you've done in the past 10 years. We really know that this will still continue for a long time, and hopefully more people will see how the heart behind Linya Linya, not just by buying a shirt, but for also supporting their causes. So guys, again, support also the Linya Linya show. And again, thank you so much. That ends the Right Lane podcast. See you on our next episode, and happy 1,000 subscribers again. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.